Okay, continuing from the previous video. Okay, for this run total, we can see that the question here, the program 5.12 is looking for the total amount of sales for a certain day, for certain amount of days. So you need to key in the number of days, and then you key in the value one by one. So you can see the output here. For how many days we have sales figures. If you enter 5, then you will be expected to enter 5 sales value, and the program will total it up for you. Okay, so this total sales is the accumulator, right? Okay, so you notice that this 5 program 5.12 is actually using for loop. Okay, so using for loop sometimes makes things easier, and you can achieve efficiency in terms of number of lines in your codes, number of line codes. Okay, right. So let's look at sentinels. What are sentinels? Sentinels are actually value in a list of values that indicate send of data. So basically, when you don't know how many values will be entered by user, so you don't know what is the terminating input, so you can just use any value that is invalid for the input. For example, if you are looking for, you're asking an input of a test score, you can actually use a value that is not is confirmed, cannot be used as a test score. For example, of course, for a test score, we will expect a value which is positive, more than 0. So you can put negative 999 as the terminating value, and this will be called sentinel. Okay, so for example, in program 5.13, you can see that in this part here, white points is not equal to -1, means as long as the point is positive, this will be done. Okay, so I will leave this for you to try out. I'm not going to try this out here. Okay, so please do your own practice. Okay, you can find this example in your textbook, and you can also just copy from this slide. Okay, so how do you decide which loop to use? So the while loop is a conditional pretest loop, and it iterates as long as a certain condition exists, and it usually used for validating input or reading list of data terminated by a sentinel. So if you are not sure when the input will be ended, so you might want to use the while loop. The do while loop is a post test loop, and it always iterates at least once, and it's suitable for repeating a menu. So if you want to do a menu, do while loop is a good choice. And for loop is also a pretest loop. It has a built-in expression for initializing, testing, and updating. And the city way you can use it when you know the exact number of iteration to run. Okay, so when you know the number of iteration, better go for loop. You can also do nested loops, where you have loops inside loop. So you will have the inner loop and the outer loops. So usually if you are dealing with 2D matrix, you will be using this loop. So the outer loop is for the row, and the inner loop is for the column. So you can also do some operation like this. So if you have 2D matrix later, or 2D array, you will be needing this nested loop. This is an example of this nested loop without using array. So you can see here, this is a test, is a program to calculate the average score for students, okay, for each students. So for each, you have the outer loop which iterates for each student, and the inner loop is for one student, what is their test, okay. So the inner loop is about how many tests do you have. So it will total up the test score for one student before it goes into the outer loop, which average the total test, the average score for each student. And once it got the average student score for each student, it will go out to look for the next student, okay. So this is the nested loop. So inner loop goes through all repetition for each repetition of outer loop, and inner loop completes sooner than outer loop, and total of number of repetition of inner loop is product number of repetition of the two loops. You can try this on your own, okay. So I'll leave this to you. Right, that's the end of our repetition structure. Alright, so I'll put up the tutorial questions or lab questions in a bit. Thank you.